Welcome to the Real Salty podcast. Please join Stephanie and Caitlin as we dive into life in Florida, the good, the salty, and everything in between. We'll chat about real estate, family, sports, building a community, and all the unique things that make living in the Sunshine State so special. Plus, we'll bring on some amazing special guests to share their stories and expertise along the way. So grab your favorite drink and get ready to laugh, learn, and get a little salty with us.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back for another episode of the Real Salty podcast. We survived yesterday.
We did.
I don't know if you know, astrologically, apparently some big shit went down.
What? I don't know anything about this. Do enlighten me, please.
Well, you know, they talk about these old millennial hobbies. You either have to do bird watching or sourdough bread making or something. And apparently astrological mysteries of the world and signs and houses of moons and suns is something that I'm going to just dive headfirst into this empty pool. So yesterday was
you're going to take the voodoo shit route. Okay.
You know
okay.
What?
I'm game for it.
You know, I could either use my powers for good or I could use my powers for bad. So we'll see which kind of Glenda.
Now you're going to start going like they do on the.
No, there was a new moon and
going on.
I was going to say, well, what I have to say that fancy car brand, right? Where it's like Ferrari, Jaguar. Okay. Anyway, we made it through a new moon. We made it through a solar eclipse yesterday. And apparently that has just shifted a whole bunch of stuff that hasn't been into a shift in decades, allegedly. And so buckle up, Buttercup, because apparently from now till April, we are in a whole new world.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
World.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
But how was your weekend? Because I was on edge all weekend, hoping that nothing bad happened.
Okay. So the only thing I think about with moons is that we have low tide. So that's where my brain goes. But anyway, so I am so excited because I went to, so the Red Sox were in town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they are on a wild card hunt. And as I've mentioned before, it was actually part of my marriage vows that I had to be a Red Sox fan. I'm a Cubs fan as well, who they're in the playoffs, but I had to be a Red Sox fan, which is fine. They've given me great glory, great glory, actually. And so they were playing the Rays. And as we all know, Trop Field is still being put back together. The $58 million project is still being put back together.
Do you think it's funny that they inadvertently had to play in a Yankees stadium?
No, because that's just like not cool. I mean, everything was cool about it. I mean, we're walking. So, okay. So let me pause for a second. So we decided Friday night, we watched a game at home. Saturday night, it was on TV, but we have YouTube, so we don't have Spectrum. So locally, it was being played. So we had to go to Sirens, which was fantastic. I'll talk about that later.
Yes.
And we watched the game there. And then Sunday, we said, let's just go to the game. It was actually the last Rays game in the Steinbrenner Field. So George Steinbrenner's Field is the minor league team of the New York Yankees that's played over in Tampa. That is honestly a stone throw away from the Buck Stadium. The only thing I did was kept taking pictures of the Buck Stadium in the background while I was there. So we decided to go. We get there. I get out of work. We get there. Park $10. Can't beat it at some sort of church.
You can't beat
no,
it.
you can't beat that. No, we were gonna buy a ticket for $45 for general parking, and Michael's like, "We'll just find someone to park their house to park at." And we get there, and this church was like $10 donation to Christ, and we were like, "We got this." Yeah, sold. Okay. Yeah.
Here's baby Jesus.
Peace be with you. Yes. Yep. Here we go. And so we get there, and we go in there, and but it's the last game in the George Steinbrenner Field, which was really, really cool. I mean, the Rays did not do very well this year, but they're going to be in April 7th of next year. They'll be back in the Trop. So that's super exciting. But the thing, there's two things that were really cool. I got a new hat, which I was super excited about.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is the new Rays logo.
Okay, so I saw their uniforms, which are sharp, by the way. I really
super sharp.
The highlighter green.
Yes.
I know somebody at our company that'll also specifically like the highlighter green.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly. So, but the thing I love about this, so we walked away and I was like, I like the hat.
It's the Skyway.
It's a Skyway.
It's a Skyway bridge.
In like a Stingray. I freaking love it. I think it's
All
the
right.
coolest thing. So
That is the
I'll post
coolest
a
thing.
picture. I've got a picture of me wearing the Red Sox hat with this over it because,
I love that.
I decided I needed to have Coppertail
Well, you can have both.
beers
Yeah.
that are the unholy, which is like 9.2% alcohol while I was there. So,
Whoa.
yeah. So yeah, I was doing everything under the sun that was just fun. But yeah, so I love that hat. I just love it.
I'm just imagining you with your 9% beers and your double hat rallied like
This is pretty close to it.
because they see Michael, she acts like this even without me.
I don't need it. I don't need it to, but okay. So, but this was the cool part about it. And this is the important thing.
Yes.
So,
sorry.
like I said, it was a thrown stone away from the Buck Stadium.
Right.
People did double headers. People went to the Bucks game and the Rays game. I am so mad I didn't think about that.
Oh
So
my
I walked,
God.
the aisle that we were in, we were sitting behind home plate. The aisle that we were in, I walk in and they've got so yesterday was a throwback because they're celebrating their 50th year as Bucks.
It was
Creamsicle. Yeah.
Yep.
So they have bucket hats that are white with creamsicle. So they're wearing these white bucket hats. And I go, oh, did you go to the game today? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, what the coolest double header ever.
Right.
I screwed that up.
That is very cool. And I will say this. I have 2 cents to throw in about this because with the Kansas City Royals and the Kansas City Chiefs, the sports complex, okay, side of downtown Kansas City proper off of Interstate 70, and they share parking lots. And there's a time of year where obviously baseball overlaps with football, especially if you go into Red October or any kind of playoff situation.
Yeah, they hope they're playing, right?
And so that might have actually been a possibility for a couple of years. Obviously, we're not going to date ourselves completely. 10 years ago, 2014, 2015 Royals, but
still, isn't that so cool? They just
that is very cool, and that sounds
down
right
there
and
did. I was really mad that I didn't think about doing that. Not that I wanted to go to a Bucks game in 100-degree weather at 1 p.m., but I probably would have done it just to say I did it. So I'm a little upset I didn't do it.
The logistics of that, of making sure you can successfully go through that doubleheader day. That's like 8 hours.
Well, I wouldn't have been able to do it with the 9.2% beer at 1 o'clock.
No.
I would have been taking a sweet nap in the car in between.
Michael flags out a golf cart just to take you from one stadium to the next.
Exactly.
Like, she's handicapped. We need it. It's okay. Like, just let her in.
Well, I wanted a draft beer at the Rays Stadium, and this lady, I come up, and my affinity for Belgium beer. I just really like it. Right. And she's like, get the Belgium beer. And I was like, sold. And sign me up. And so I get in. She's like, the best part about it is it's got twice the alcohol of all the other beers. And I was like, well, this is not going to go well. So I turned to Michael and I go, I'm not driving home. He's like, I got it. I'll stick with my neutrals, I guess. Anyway,
well, Longhair's tribute number 1. And then you should have yelled across the counter, did we just become best friends?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. So, but I thought that was really, really amazing. And like I said, we went to Sirens on Saturday night, a brand new bar, Pirates Pub is its sister location. They had the burger there. Yes. They had the burger. Michael walked in and he goes, what is that burger doing here? And I go, do you not listen to our podcast? Michael, we talked about it last week.
Michael, literally rub your head and say, I don't know why.
We talked about it last week.
None of my never mind. It's not my burger.
I was twitching, remember? But yeah. But so they did have it. The food was very good. The decor in there, it's beautiful in there.
Really?
It really, really is. It was very busy. There was TVs everywhere. I mean, it was big college football day, so most of them were college football driven. But it's really, really, really pretty. And the service was good. And the reason that I have to mention that is because of Burger Week, and I know I've said it before, but I'm going to continue saying it because it's super important to know.
Preach,
is that the beaches service that you find along Gulf Boulevard is unparalleled to any service that you find off the beaches. It is like a different continent. Michael and we work so hard at making sure that our service level is at a certain standard at Woody's, right? And when we don't get that reciprocated, we're really frustrated because it's just not that hard. It's actually not that hard.
We're
just
judging
talk to
you.
people. Just
we're
talk to
judging
people.
you. We're judging
You're
your
so
service.
judging. Just give me a survey because I'm filling it out right now. We don't do online reviews because we don't want to be like that. But anyway, their service was very good, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's good. You can tell the owner.
I really hope to see that smiling owner at Celebrate Pinellas this weekend, which we'll talk a little bit more about. But she was so elated to win.
Oh, Amber, their manager.
Her happy.
Oh
yeah, her
Amber
happiness. Yeah, her happiness level was just like, this is what we play for.
Yes.
Like, it was just amazing.
Oh, she was so sweet. I think a woman named Tracy actually owns both of them.
Oh, my bad.
But I my parents know who Tracy is, but I actually have never met her, so I have to figure that out. But nonetheless, Amber, she's got a really, really good like advocate for her, and as we all know, finding a good manager is not always easy. So, but so anyway, so we did that. So that was really, really fun. That was really fun. Mm-hmm.
Well, we kind of like brought us into our next topic. Trent and I really didn't do anything too exciting to speak of. I actually was able to put my toes in the sand for the first time.
Oh, so
way
nice.
too long. We spent a few hours at the beach on Sunday.
Very nice.
We'll dance over this and then we'll get into football. But the one thing I will say is I totally don't lie about how often I go to the beach to my, friends and family back in the Midwest, because
we don't go.
We go every day. What are you talking about?
Oh, right.
We go every day.
Well, I say I go when I don't. That's for sure.
You know what? I was about to make an analogy. I'm like, well, how many times do you go up in the arch, Sarah? No, just kidding.
Well, I mean, come on. That's true, though.
It's totally different.
I guess it is. Yeah.
Back home, I volunteer as tribute. I need to go to the beach more. It's just.
I do too. I think the last time that I went was Memorial Day weekend, which was May.
See, that's where I'm at. It had been a number of months since we actually, put a stake in the ground and sat down, kind of thing. So.
Yep, that's right.
Well, football, we can talk a little bit about.
Yeah, at least you don't hate it now.
I don't.
You really hated it.
I don't hate it now.
You don't hate it, but last week you really didn't like it.
It really didn't make me feel any better. I was going to say a win's a win, but good God, that was ugly. And actually, tell the good people what your mother's quote. It was an ugly game. An ugly, ugly game.
It was an ugly game.
Say it.
It was. It was a super ugly game. It was like the game. I don't know, that game. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was
just
really bad.
Tell the joke. Say the Chiefs were at the top of the thing. Do it.
Yes. The Chiefs were at the top of, let's say, palm tree to keep it festive.
There we go.
And it hit every single palm limb on the way down, and they were ugly.
Yeah, I actually think the Chiefs face went down the stalk of the palm.
They've been ugly. Well, as we said, they didn't. Yes, they did well last year. But there were starting to show signs of cracking. Please don't tell me to eat glass, but they were showing signs of cracking last year. So, but they won, and it was against the Giants, and the Giants are scrappy. So that's, I guess,
they are scrappy, and they were home. And I wouldn't have been nervous about it unless it was this season. And I will say that.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
We can totally just dance over this and talk about happier times for the Bucks. They did win. If they hadn't have won the entire season, close up shop. Go fuck yourself.
You would have had to pick a new team. Sorry.
I would have put, I would have still rooted for the Chiefs. I am not a fair weather fan.
No, you're not. At the same time,
I would have had to rearrange my fantasy football.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, that would have been bad. But yeah, I mean, the 1:00 games were fantastic yesterday. They were so crazy. So the Bucks won in dramatic fashion, as they like to do, and field goal at the end, which was good.
Keep everyone guessing. They like to play that mystique team of the year. Okay.
Yeah. So super. I mean, yeah, it was just fantastic. And then the Rams almost defeated the Eagles, which was super fun. Oh yeah. The score doesn't reflect it because Big Boy got a touchdown, like a pick six at the end, because they blocked the field goal. So the Rams went to do a game-winning field goal. The Eagles blocked it and did a pick six. So the score doesn't reflect what happened, but so that happened. The Bucks had a blocked field goal. The Packers lost to the Browns.
Well.
Exactly. So so in our like family group chat, as I said, Cooper is a big Packers fan. He went silent. And so I text Brody because he has a skateboard at school now. That's how his means of transportation. I was like, Cooper or Brody, you're gonna need to go like skateboard over to your brother to make sure he's good. And he's like, I'm on my way, Coop. And he like sent this picture of like Silver Surfer. I'm like, and then Commanders won, which was good. The Bucks, like I said, they won. So there was just some really dramatic. And then so Michael's like, okay, let's stop. Okay, no more football right now. I need to take a break. And Brody's like, what about the Bears? Because they played at 4.
Do not let that middle child's game be skipped.
I know. And the Bears, bear down, Chicago Bears.
Don't know what we're doing.
That's our fight song. And
that's gonna be a real.
They beat the Cowboys.
Well, you know what? That's totally fine in my book.
Anyone that beats the Cowboys is fine in anyone's book, right? So that was exciting.
They're America's team to everyone that doesn't live in America.
Yes. What were they? Were America's team like what 20 years ago? I mean, when's the last time they won anything?
I don't know.
I just for being America's team.
I literally remember we did a foreign exchange program in high school when I was in high school, and I think we briefly talked about this. And I just remember he was a huge fan of the 49ers, and he said that basically every one of his friends was either a 49ers or Cowboys fan. Now, granted, he was the same age as me, so that makes sense, right? Because in the 90s, 49ers, Cowboys, shootouts, all the things, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
But it was just so funny to me where he's like, oh, I'm a 49ers fan. And then he's like, my friends are literally either 49ers or Cowboys fans. I was like, well, that
exactly
is not true.
Yeah. That isn't, you're just grabbing onto what you think is America's team. But that's like the Yankees. Many people, they don't like the team. They know nothing about the team. No. You could go and like, I swear you could go like in the middle of Gaza Strip and you'd find someone wearing a New York Yankees hat, and it's not about the team. They probably couldn't even tell you it was a baseball team. It's literally about the brand, right?
You're right. And it kind of is like, with the NY on it, it kind of is it's like
New York, right? It's what stands for New
York. NY, right?
Yeah,
I
like
heart
New York,
right? Exactly. So, well, baseball has been very, very good to me.
Yeah, so, no, like I said, the Red Sox are on a wild card hunt. We don't know if they'll. It's going to be it's a lot. They have to win a lot, but the Cubbies are in, so we're good with that too.
You know what? Shout out to Michael if your precious Red Sox and your precious Commanders actually have a banner year for you.
I know.
What are we going to do with him? He's going to get all cocky about it. No,
he is, and he is going to get all. He's just. He
can handle that kind of winning. I don't think he can handle it.
No, I don't think he can either. He's not going to know what to do with it, right?
Oh my God.
But he'll still sit there and go, I'm just nervous about this. I'm just nervous about this. I'm just nervous about this. So
that's okay. That's okay. That means that you haven't lost, your humility. So, and I'm earning mine back penance by penance. So
I know, one game at a time. I mean, it's anyone's game. I mean, I think that's the exciting part. There's so many good teams.
Yeah.
I mean, tonight we have what?
We're going to move on to this, but the Chiefs, God dang it, because they have to play the Ravens on Sunday. So, yeah, good luck, Buttercup. Sorry. Lamar.
What time is that at?
I don't know the time on Sunday, but Lamar Jackson, I'm not used to conversing with the enemy, but if you ever wanted to actually make a show, now would be your time when we're at our weakness. But at the same time, of course, I want you to come in thinking that we're weak and we're going to die. And it's the action movie where the hero is laying on the ground and the villain is slowly approaching with a weapon. And then all of a sudden he turns around and just goes.
Exactly.
Sorry. Anyway, my serial killer.
Okay, so it's a 4:00 game.
Thank you.
And the Bucks are playing the Eagles.
Come on, Bucks. Come on, Bucks. Come on.
Someone's got to beat the Eagles. I thought the Rams were going to, but yeah. So we've got some good stuff coming up.
That's okay. Matthew Stafford, you go home and think about what you've done. You weren't able to pull it off, but Buccaneers, batter up.
Batter up, please.
I need you to reverse that tush push right up the, do it. Just do it. Okay. So few events locally that we need to talk about besides
Yeah.
my just visceral anger right now for the National Football League.
Well, right. It's a love-hate relationship.
You know what? So we're always talking about the local events that our lovely city is putting on here. And one of the events that I absolutely love that our city government does, shout out to our lovely mayor, is our conversations with the mayor meetings, right? So usually once a month, they try to do at least a happy hour time and a morning time. And this past week was the conversations with the mayor meeting at the Elks Lodge here in Madera Beach. And it was a morning time. And unfortunately, both of us were unable to attend due to previous engagements.
Morning times are tough. Sometimes there's just a lot of activities in the morning.
And it's not just because we don't like the libations they serve. So,
because you actually told me you could get me different ones, and I was like, okay, I agree to go. But
as an actual Elks Lodge member, okay, I am an actual member. I overstepped my commitment because there is not an icicle chance in hell that I would have been able to get that bar open. Good people, that is not why we didn't go. I promise you, we had other things to do.
Okay, it's 95% of the reason.
Yeah, well, when I found out it was a certain, I mean, it definitely was a 70-25, but no, I digress. But
it definitely made the conversation when we said, but then I finally said, I just actually can't go. I've got stuff going on.
Well,
I just have stuff that I need to be managing right now.
Allegedly, I have like important things
Allegedly, I have to do things.
Both of us had something we're like, I really don't want to go, but I kind of have to go. No, but what's funny is you talk about commitment. So we both weren't there, and somehow our ears were ringing the entire time because we came up at the meeting.
Yes, we did.
And not just you and I individually as our real estate business, but our podcast specifically, good people. Apparently, we don't even have to be in the room together for the universe to just be like,
yes.
So
I have an idea. Right? We nominate those two to take care of this situation.
Right. Mm-hmm. So just basically to recap, and I don't know how we're going to trim this up, but we are going to take it upon ourselves as locals and business owners and homeowners of this lovely city.
This is a beaches service announcement.
This is
not a public service announcement.
Yeah.
Because that sounds too formal.
No.
We're not.
Well, it could still be a PSA.
It could. It will be. It's a PSA.
What is it? Parking service announcement.
Yes. So that needs to be absolutely. So the conversation and the context was,
please go. Yes.
Is that there are a plethora of public parking that is City of Madera Beach owned. So we'll start by saying that they own it. Yes, they have to charge. I'm sorry, but they have to charge because who's going to pay for the pavement to be redone or the garbage to be taken care of?
Or the crosswalks so your petty butt doesn't get hit.
Yeah. So you don't get hit on I mean, it has they're not looking at this to try and make money. They're just trying to maintain their average day, right? So there is so much city parking in Madera Beach. But because everything has become an app, or because there's creative marketing out there, people don't know which one is which. So there's city parking and there's private parking. Correct. Now, the private parking is always going to advertise as public parking because if you said private, you'd say, oh, I don't think I can park there. So it's always going to say public parking.
Right.
But it's also going to say, owned and operated privately or privately managed or not city parking. And so specifically to John's Pass, because there was a lot of business owners from John's Pass that were there that day. We
went to a John's Pass business owners meeting where we were talking about some of the future events that are going to be coming up within the pass. And one of the things that the business owners referenced was that parking seems to be deterring people from spending money and spending time in John's Pass.
Yeah. And it wasn't necessarily the city parking because it's at $4 an hour. And yes, do they ticket? Yes, of course they do. If you pay for 2 hours and you go stay for 3, you get ticketed. I mean, it's just, that's the way it is. Yeah. But it was more about the private parking. And there's one that's pretty consistent with their parking. And then there's one that's not. It's irrelevant, but it's important to know where the public parking is because there's 3 different companies in John's Pass. One being the city, the one of them being the garage, and then another private lot that is centrally located. Now they staff that private lot. Yes. And so a lot of the times there's flagging, there's encouragement, and it says public parking. Of course it says public parking, because if it said private, no one would park there. They'd think,
Correct.
okay, so you can't park there. And
we need to think about
company.
this. Sorry, the way that we need to think about this is it's open to the public.
It's
okay?
open.
It
That's
says
right.
public parking, but the understanding is it's open to the public.
That's
and
right.
It's privately owned.
It's privately owned.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So their prices are a little bit inconsistent,
Which they have the right to do.
Which they have the right to do. And the city of Madeira Beach are incredibly transparent.
Yep.
And so people are upset because they feel like it costs a lot when they go to John's Pass. Well, it can cost a lot if you choose wrong. But if you choose the Park mobile app, you're not going to have a problem, which we'll put on this reel and this on our podcast.
Yes.
What those lots are to help the
Yes.
good people. But just know that it is not, I mean, the city parking is $4 an hour. I don't find that to be excruciatingly painful. I just don't. I don't think that that's awful, wrong, or anything. I think that that is very reasonable. I'm sorry it's not a mall, but last time I checked, the malls are all dead. No one can get anyone to go there. And that is free parking.
It is.
It is. I mean, it's free parking. So, and I know that some of the people have been complaining that there's just not enough service announcements about which ones are which. And then I'll also note that they did do away with the kiosks. They did.
Yes.
They made it so that you had to download an app. Now, I know that that causes problems, but the kiosks are $12,000. And PS, we pretty much just got them all destroyed last year. So I don't think that we're going to be putting any in anytime soon when we have a very workable solution. And
Yes.
there is a little kiosk that's right there in the middle across from Surf Style, specifically in John's Pass, that is there to help the public figure it out. But I guarantee you, go into any one of these restaurants or,
Shops,
clothing store shops, they're going to tell you how to do it. They're going to show you. No one is not going to show you how to do that. And so that's the number one complaint that we hear about John's Pass. And it's like, but only direct your anger toward the people that need to be directed to. If you want to know exactly, like we said last week, which ones are the public, then go to the Madeira Beach website. It's full
Right.
transparency. No one's trying to
Right.
hide anything. They're just not. There's only one lot in Madeira Beach that is county owned, and that's the one across from the Speedway, which is why it took so long for it to get rebuilt. And it's still not rebuilt, but nonetheless, it still looks fantastic at this point.
And it's open.
And then the Tom and Kitty one is just taking a little bit longer because it got demolished. It's got like 20 spots and it got demolished, but all the other ones. And so if you were to look at the map, you would see that the county one is not on the map. You
Right.
would see that the Tom and Kitty
No,
is
but
like,
see, one of the things that I love about the city, though, because you're like, it's not on the map, but it is. And
Yes.
guys, when you go to the City of Madeira Beach website and you type in parking into the search, I easily was able to find it. Okay.
easily.
It literally has an
Easily.
interactive map that has all the clickable dots for all the parking lots, parking spaces, all the parking along Madeira Way, all the parking along Village Boulevard. And it even has dots for the other privately owned parking options
Yes.
that literally will, when you click it open, it'll tell you privately owned.
It
like,
will. It will.
We have
It
no
will.
information. When you click on the interactive map that are the city-owned parking spots, they actually tell you the hours of open and availability, whether or not overnight parking is allowed, and you're absolutely right, the exact rate per hour in which the city is going to charge for you.
Yeah, they're going to exactly. And the thing too is that I'm sorry, but if you're late to your parking, and that's the one thing about the mobile app too, is that not only does it text you to let you know your time's almost out, but then you can add time. You have to pay. That's like credit card bills. If you don't turn it in time, you have a late fee. Why is that so shocking to people that they're going to get charged? Oh, you guys have just been through a hurricane. You should really let everyone go. Are you kidding me? We are broke as F. Of course.
Girl.
Everything is a business down here. Welcome to America.
Yeah,
That's
right?
what we are.
We're coming
So anyway,
to America.
It's unfortunate that we get these keyboard warriors, like I like to call them, and they're spewing out all these things that, one, they didn't take responsibility for their actions, and two, they weren't recognizing that it wasn't public owned, it was private. And I know for a fact that City of Madeira Beach has someone that literally sits there all day long and answers the phone about the private parking. They can't do anything about it. It's a private company.
No.
So just check your resources. If you're not using the Park Mobile app, then God knows that you are not using
City
of
parking.
Madeira Beach.
Correct.
If you don't have that little green symbol coming up that says P with a little circle around it, it is not Madeira Beach parking.
Well, I'm sorry, but like we want everyone to come to Madeira Beach. We want everybody to love it as much as we do, and all the businesses, beautiful beaches, and all the events that we throw and everything like that. But your harsh Debbie Downer criticism when you don't read not even the fine print, but basically you don't do your due diligence coming down here to have an amazing vacation, which we are well supplied and ready to give you.
Yeah.
But we need to know what it is that you want.
Exactly. And are we happy that they've charged, that some of these parking companies charge so much? Of course not.
No.
Of course not. We're not happy about it at all. But there's nothing we can do except for put out these beaches service announcements to tell you then take some responsibility and park in the spot that will help you then. So,
and it's just like, you know, if you made it this far without reading any fine print in your life, have fun with your Velcro shoes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I know that we're not going to be able to put all of that in the reel because we're going to realize that we kind of were a little snarp. But you know what?
I just, I feel bad for the people, but it's like, come on. I mean,
dude,
you can only lead the horse to the water.
Well, and that is the problem with the internet, right?
It is. It's and I will say that, like, I do fact check when I see something like that. I say, okay, well, maybe they're right, and I go and I take a look. But when we were kind of tasked with this voluntarily or involuntarily last week, I was like, well, let me see what the website has on Madeira Beach.
Right.
And we pulled it up. You and I pulled it up right before we got on here, and it is crystal freaking clear where to park.
Exactly. But you know what? If you have doubts, good people, then maybe when you roll your Chevy Chase station wagon, National Lampoon's Vacation car onto the island, go to City Hall. Yeah. Go to City Hall and go to our welcome center. Actually, you know what? Shout out to our City Hall store because it's amazing.
It looks amazing. Really good.
It looks really good.
Some really good retail there.
Actually, you know what we should do? We should go there and we should actually do a little snip there with the merchandise because it is amazing. But yes, stop by City Hall. Go to the Welcome Center, Barbara. Anyway.
Exactly.
Anyway
is right.
There's a lot of events that are going to be coming up. So we're recording this on Monday, September 22nd. But actually, this week is Thursday and the eve of Helene. We will be partying our socks off, our flip-flops off, if you will, at Celebrate Pinellas. So Celebrate Pinellas is an amazing event that we'll be participating in the podcast. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be like Jonah Melissa Rivers. Instead of where were you wearing, what are you wearing? It's going to be where were you?
Yeah, that's exactly right? It is that we talked about setting up a booth. That's not really Caitlin and my style. Well, we like to roam and mingle.
We're butterflies. We have to we can't help it. And I can't be held to the responsibility of manning a tent.
And what would you exactly do? So we're just going to go around and mingle with everyone. So we've already committed to a few people's booth that we're going to stop by and hang out. We'll do some conversations. I think it's like, I just want to hear your story. I want to hear like how you're doing now. And if there's anything that is important that maybe we can get out or that needs to be still being moving forward besides the obvious permits with everything. But I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be really, really good. And
it's going to be really exciting, guys.
It's somber too, right? Like,
yeah, I was going to say, well, it's a somber reflection that I'm sorry, but
it's been almost a year.
I mean, it's not going to be a celebrate good times wedding, like, Earth, Wind, and Fire shout out.
But we
are going to celebrate
the resilience.
We are going to celebrate the resilience because
we recorded a year ago together in that office that you're sitting in right now. And we chatted briefly about it. We were also chatting, if I'm not mistaken, about like the P. Diddy files. That was a big topic of conversation. And then I was in the office on that Tuesday. And I remember like we were having some conversation about is it going to be bad, and I was like, I think it's going to be the worst we've ever seen. But I mean, when you define worse, that would not have been, if you would have said, what do you mean worse? I would have been like a couple feet of water, just make sure you're taking care of it. I would not have defined like water across the entire island.
I'm not gonna lie, that one did make me a lot nervous. And you know how many times do we hear about, you know, the rise in the sea, you know, and everything, and that it, you know, inclement flooding is gonna happen, flash flooding and all the things like that with it. But for some reason there was a whole nother nervous level with this.
There was.
But because
there was on that Tuesday, there was
when I saw
eerie.
people like you and locals and you know the sand salt generations just be like, this is different. Now, granted, I didn't quite understand why. And I've gone back and done my half-assed meteorologist backround check over and over and over.
Well, it's hard to wrap your brain around that. I mean, it really is.
But when you tell people that it was 100 miles offshore, it still doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. And I think I was in your office when Michael called me and was like, how high should I be going with some of this stuff? Because we were raising everything up off the ground in our shop. Because
that's right.
We're above sea level, of course, but I mean, it depends on the tide, how far above sea level we are. And I was like, Michael, higher than we've ever gone before. And he was like, oh shit, really? And I'm like, yeah, higher than we've ever gone before.
Yeah.
But I mean, would that have wrapped off I don't know. So I'm really looking forward to Thursday. It's going to be a somber evening, and I do think it's a time to celebrate the resilience of everyone and just humans in general. So,
you know what, good people, though, it will be a somber. We're all going to hug and tell our stories and everything like that. But please, this is not a wake. We are going to dance the night away.
And Caitlin and I will be having some. So if you're there, please come visit us. Come say hi. And
you know, our pessimistic sarcasm comes with a side card of hilarity. So there's no reason for you not to be there. Mm-hmm. We all made it. We're here. So with that being said, celebrate Pinellas this Thursday from 5 to 8 at the Florida Botanical Gardens and Creative Pinellas. It is free, people. We misspoke in a couple of previous episodes, but it is free. They are asking for a $25 donation. There's going to be multiple tasting tables of local restaurants and bars and eateries. It's going to be a multi-chamber of commerce. Well, of course, bottoms up. Well, bring that, and we're going to need to find one of those Skyway Stingray hats. Because
oh my gosh,
I really like those.
I really like that too. And then we have this weekend, something that we haven't really talked about because you and I have never gone to it. I don't know if they're excited about this.
I actually think they're looking to have that air of mystique because we've looked for a ton of information and it's kind of like, you got to see it in person. Apparently they just want you to show up because we kind of have an idea what's going to happen.
We're pretending we understand, but we're not totally sure.
Yeah. Tell them what we think we understand.
Yeah, so it is a whole bunch of songwriters collectively coming together to go to Rock Park, as we like to call it, in Madeira Beach. Yes. There's going to be a main stage that's there, and all the money that is raised goes there. But it also allows some of these artists that are either new or songwriters to really show off that craft. And I kind of like, and I don't know, and I'll correct myself next week if I'm wrong, because I'm going to stop by and see what's going on with it. But
let me know what day I'll come.
Right. Exactly. So I think it's a little bit, I think it's similar to my impression of like a very early stage. Because what is it? The third annual, I think. You look that up while I'm doing this, because I think it's a third annual. It's very new, but St. Pete does this thing that's called Reggae Rise Up. Yeah, third. Right. And it's really, really well known. People come in from all over the country to listen to all these reggae artists.
Yep.
I know my oldest son, not that that's a surprise, loves to go to it every single year. And that's how I knew about it, truthfully, other than we do have people that we see from the weekend down in our business come through too. But and then so it's this kind of like rock concert during the day, almost, then the after party always goes to a local favorite, Saltwater Hippie, where a lot of the artists go and hang out too, where you get to meet the artists, you get to chat with them if you like a song, or just want to talk about your own artistry and just hang out, and which almost always saltwater's acoustic, which I love too. And so it
This to
should be
me
really
sounds like the
good.
closest thing that we're going to get to Woodstock and Madeira. So if you
Oh, for
want to
sure.
come out and just be an appreciative person to the music and everything else, I heard through the grapevine that Sunday for the 3-day festival, that Sunday is actually kind of an open jam drum
Oh, very
circle
cool.
session. So that's very exciting. And she's absolutely
Not
right. So,
karaoke, Caitlin, so don't get any ideas.
well,
You
if
got
I
to
bring
bring your
my
own
own,
music.
if I bring my own microphone, no one can stop me. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. I'm going to show up John Cusack with my freaking own
Yes,
amplifier and just start
that's
singing.
right.
Yeah, exactly. Across the softball fields. So, and just want to make sure we actually give you guys the who, what, where, when. The event that we're talking about is called the Drop Dead Beach Bash. It will be held this weekend at the ROC or Rock Park here in Madeira Beach. The event itself benefits the Remember Our Children ROC Park.
Yeah.
So the fact that this event is being held in Madeira, and it sounds like the majority of its earnings will also stay in Madeira for our beautiful
That's cool.
parks and rec department. I love it. The one
Me
thing I'm
too.
going to mention, Sugarland, okay? Sugarland, the country duo that's
Yeah.
so popular and has been around for like 20 years, which I
Yep.
don't even want to say out loud. The male gentleman that is part of the duo, not Jennifer, obviously, but the male, Christian Bush, no relation to Gavin, is actually going to be the headliner on this drop dead.
Oh, very cool.
So yes, very excited.
That's cool.
Starts this Friday.
Friday,
No,
Saturday, Sunday.
that's a lie. It starts Thursday night.
Oh,
Sorry.
wow.
It's
Oh,
Thursday
that's a
night.
long. Wow.
25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th. Tents are not included.
Right. That's amazing, though. I don't know how I never knew about this. I mean, you and I talked about it a couple of weeks ago.
I know,
but
it's third one. Where have we
know.
been? Where have we been? And see what we did there, Karen?
Well, they must not have done it last year. They couldn't have. So maybe that's why it skipped a year. They could. I mean, if they do it around the same time last year, we'd have to look it up. But they must not have done it last year then, because I mean,
and see, here's the difference.
I mean,
Karen.
everything was canceled last year.
Here's the difference, Karen. We don't go online and fucking bitch about it. Sorry. Yeah. It's been a minute since I dropped it. So
exactly.
Like, well, nobody invited me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. One of the other events that I wanted to make sure that we mentioned, we talked about Celebrate, we talked about Drop Dead Bash. A month and 2 days seafood festival.
I'm so
a month and 2 days.
Ooh.
Prepare the horses. This is what we train for. So good people, 2 seafood festivals in 1 year. I don't know what we've done to be so lucky, but you should say thank you, city. Maybe we have another. Okay. Yes. We're not going to do another, so don't petition it. But no. I'm just saying, like, we're so happy that it's going to be back.
It is so fun.
Oh, God.
It is like 4 days of, 3.5 days of exhaustion. But it is so fun. And we've had it this year we had it in March, which became very controversial
because we couldn't have it in January.
We couldn't have it. The city couldn't plan that it was going to be in January because we didn't know where the world was going to be. But we've had it in January for the last couple of years, and it's been incredibly successful. But one of the things that I think that hasn't been is that A, it's been a little bit chilly, and B, it's during like NFL playoffs. And so like that's always caused a little bit of an issue. Yeah. And it was in October for a very long time. So I guess this would be 31 years Part B, because I think it's been 30 years that it's been going on. So, it was always in October, but we do know that we risk the potential of, you know what, so it is a controversial time, but when it can land in October, it is by far one of my favorite festivals.
Well, and as someone who had not actually lived here since it was moved to January, so I've only ever known Seafood Festival in January. Okay. So this is an interesting kind of point for me. You're absolutely right. Number one, it was cold. And yes, good people up north, we realize you're all laughing in your long underwear right now, but it does get cold. And it goes until 9 o'clock at night, and they have bands at multiple stages to perform. It kind of, and obviously it's wintertime, so that sets earlier, I would say comfortably from like 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, it's a ghost town because it's freezing outside. And I know 47, like, ha 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 ha, your blood.
Yeah, but you got the wind chill effect too from the water. So
well, that's the other thing.
Really
you have to
cold.
remember that the wind whips off the pass right down Village Boulevard. Yeah. And if you're in between those little, tents, just a wind tunnel.
Yes,
cold and miserableness. So and you're right, it was during playoff season for the NFL that tend to keep people away as well. I feel like, you know what, just being privy to some of the business owners with the city and the meetings and everything, and obviously you've been around longer than I have, multiple business owners as well, some of the people that still work with the city, you guys know, yes, it's a gauntlet in October, but it's not like Dorothy country, okay?
Yeah.
So it's not tornadoes where we have a 3-minute warning of a siren going off. Yes, we normally have advance notice to where if something like that were to occur. But here's my thing too, and we'll see how it plays. But there's got to be deposits that have no force majeure prenup understanding.
Well, I know that was a topic of conversation at how they can protect everyone, because I have been privy to one where it was like their tent is kind of flying a little bit, but I think I know that was one of the obstacles because it was privately owned. Well, but it was run by John's Pass Village Association for a very long time, and that is just over.
Be the situation moving forward,
and Madeira Beach took over.
Correct. That will not be the situation moving forward, and that is the kindest and only thing that we will mention at this time.
So the city of Madeira Beach has owned it for a little while. I bet actually most of them, they didn't do it in October. They never ran it in October. They were their first. Now that I'm thinking about their first kind of like go at it was a January 1. So they actually don't know what it's like in October.
Well, and that's fine because we have the business owners that are willing to step up and take a little bit more ownership back in the promoting of the area in which they have their businesses, which I think is fantastic.
It's so good.
And we might not involve the previous parties, but that's just because I don't think it's best for the event.
Sometimes it's just better to move on.
That's right. I was going to say, good luck in your life.
Exactly.
Not that I have power. I have no power.
Me neither. We just pretend we do.
We just pretend we do. Well, you know what? When you get brought up,
we'll just be in the room where it happens.
Apparently, we don't even have to be in the room.
Apparently, we get mentioned even we're not in the room, and sometimes that might not be for the best.
You know what, though? If they're haters going to hate, and if they're what is it? Bad press is good press. Talk is going to talk.
Any press is good press.
No, I'm just kidding. We're actually really sensitive, so please be nice.
We're so sensitive.
Well, we're sensitive and be like, oh my God, can you believe what she said? And then be like, we're going to destroy her. No.
Yeah.
Passive aggressively.
That's right.
Anyway, guys, so I think we've given you enough of our chatty Cathy banter to chew on for a whole nother week. Of course, if there's any topics that you want us to cover, please, please, please bring it up to us. We would love it. If you send us a private message, you can always give us a follow and a like and a share at the Real Salty Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you want to tune into full episodes, good luck to you. We are on YouTube and Spotify. And please, this Thursday, come party with us.
Yes.
5 to 8, Florida Botanical Gardens. Let's go.
Let's go.
Alrighty. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in again, and we will see you next week. In the meantime, you stay salty.
Stay salty. That's right.
That's right. All right. Bye.